The crystalline spires of Axiom Prime glittered under the light of three suns, their geometric perfection a testament to the mathematical prowess of the Galactic Consortium. Within the largest structure, shaped like an impossibly complex fractal, the most brilliant minds from 1,000 worlds gathered for the Millennial Mathematical Congress. Chuzar Epsilon, the arc numerator of the consortium, floated to the center of the grand calculation chamber. His tentacles, each representing a prime number, writhed in anticipation as he addressed the assembly. Esteemed colleagues, his voice boxes resonated through the chamber. We stand at the precipice of ultimate knowledge. For 10,000 cycles, we have pursued the grand unified theory of mathematics. Today, we are closer than ever. A chorus of appendages clacked in approval, creating a symphony of logical satisfaction. Chuzar Central I pulsed with pride as he continued. Our greatest minds have made remarkable progress. The Zorlak conjecture has been proven, the Epsilon-Delta paradox resolved, and yet, his tentacles drooped slightly. The final piece eludes us. From the upper tiers, a series of clicks and whistles interrupted. All eyes turned to Exine 727, the silicon-based representative of the crystalline collective. Query: what of the anomaly? The statistical aberration detected in Sector 8 Theta? Proposal: discussion necessary. A hush fell over the chamber. Que arrêt tentacle twisted inconfortably. Ah yes, the anomaly. We had hoped to address that later, but perhaps dash. Objection! A booming voice echoed from the lower levels. General Krazuke of the Warmind Imperium rose on his gravitational platform, his exoskeleton gleaming menacingly. This anomaly threatens the very fabric of our mathematical understanding. We cannot ignore it any longer. Murmurs of agreement and dissent rippled through the assembly. Chuzar raised his primary tentacles for silence. Very well, let us address the Sector 8 Theta anomaly. As you all know, our deep space probes have been mapping the mathematical constants of the universe for eons. But recently, he paused, his voice boxes quivering. We discovered a region where our equations fail. Gasps and alarmed chirps filled the air. The idea that their perfect mathematical models could fail was unthinkable. Exine 727's crystalline structure vibrated in agitation. Clarification required. Nature of failure? Extent of deviation? Consequences? Chuzar's tentacles wove complex patterns as he struggled to explain. The failure is comprehensive. In this region, pi is not constant. The Fibonacci sequence diverges. Even the most fundamental laws of quantum probability break down. The chamber erupted in chaos. General Krazuke's exoskeleton bristled with weapon pods. This is an outrage, an attack on the very foundations of reality. We must quarantine this sector immediately. Silence. Chuzar's voice boomed, enhanced by the chamber's acoustics. As the noise subsided, he continued, his tone grave. There is more. At the heart of this anomaly, we detected life. The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, a small, squeaky voice piped up from the back of the chamber. It belonged to Dr. Pip, the diminutive representative of the Rodentoid Confederacy. Life? But that's impossible. No life could evolve in such mathematical chaos. Que arrêt tentacle droop de fureté. Not only life, Dr. Pip, but intelligent life. A civilization. The chamber exploded once more, but this time with a mixture of fear, excitement, and utter disbelief. How could any being survive, let alone thrive, in a realm where the very laws of mathematics broke down? As the arc numerator struggled to regain control of the assembly, a message flashed across the chamber's holographic displays. Chuzar read it, his tentacles suddenly going rigid with shock. Impossible, he exclaimed, drawing everyone's attention. We've just received a communication from the anomaly itself. They're requesting to join our Congress. The Mathematical Congress of the Galactic Consortium faced an unprecedented dilemma. For the first time in its long history, they would have to confront a force that defied their most fundamental understanding of the universe. And so, as the three suns of Axiom Prime began to set, casting long shadows through the fractal spires, the greatest mathematical minds of the galaxy prepared to face the unknown. Little did they realize that their encounter with humanity was about to change everything they thought they knew about the universe and their place in it. The anticipation in the grand calculation chamber was palpable. Chuzar's tentacles twisted into knots as he addressed the assembly once more. Colleagues, the moment has arrived. Our guest from the mathematical anomaly is about to enter. I implore you all to remain calm. And his words were cut short as the chamber's massive doors slid open with a resonant hum. All eyes, optical sensors, and sensory appendages turned toward the entrance. In walked a single figure, bipedal and unassuming. The being wore no protective suit, carried no visible technology, and seemed utterly at ease in an environment that should have been alien to it. Greetings, esteemed members of the Galactic Mathematical Congress. The figure spoke, its voice clear and confident. I am Dr. Lyra Fibonacci, representing Earth and humanity. It's an honor to be here. A cacophony of whispers, clicks, and electromagnetic pulses filled the chamber. General Krasuke's exoskeleton whirred as he leveled a set of sensors at the human. Impossible, he bellowed. Our scans indicate no shielding, no reality stabilizers. How are you maintaining coherence in our mathematically pure environment? Dr. Fibonacci smiled, a gesture that sent ripples of unease through the assembly. I assure you, General, I am quite real and stable. Perhaps your mathematical models need updating. Chuzar floated forward, his tentacles weaving complex patterns of curiosity and concern. Dr. Fibonacci, your presence here defies all we know about the universe. How can your species exist in a realm where fundamental constants fluctuate? The human's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. But that's where you're mistaken, Archnumerator. The constants don't fluctuate in our realm. They dance. A collective gasp echoed through the chamber. Xion 727's crystalline structure vibrated at a frequency that threatened to shatter nearby data crystals. Elaboration required. Dance? Illogical. Mathematical constants are immutable. Dr. Fibonacci shook her head, still smiling. In our understanding, the universe isn't a static set of equations. It's a living, breathing symphony of numbers and probabilities. We don't just observe mathematics. We interact with it. The chamber erupted into chaos once more. Beings from 1,000 worlds argued, calculated, and tried to process this paradigm-shattering concept. Chuzar's tentacles flailed as he attempted to restore order. Please, let us approach this rationally. Dr. Fibonacci, surely you have proof of these claims? The human nodded, reaching into a pocket. The entire assembly tensed, weapon systems humming to life. But what Dr. Fibonacci pulled out was simply a small, metallic cube. This, she said, holding it up, is a quantum probability manipulator. It allows us to nudge the fabric of reality. Observe. With a flick of her wrist, the cube began to hover, then spin. As it rotated, the very air around it seemed to ripple and distort. Numbers and equations flashed across the chamber's holographic displays, shifting and changing at impossible speeds. Chuzar's tentacles went limp with shock. But that violates the principle of cosmic constancy. It's witchcraft. General Krasuke roared, his weapon pods fully deployed now. This human is wielding chaos magic. We must neutralize the threat before. Wait! The squeaky voice of Dr. Pip cut through the tension. The tiny rodentoid scurried down to the chamber floor, approaching Dr. Fibonacci with a mix of fear and fascination. How? Dr. Pip squeaked, whiskers twitching. How do you control it? Dr. Fibonacci knelt down, bringing herself to eye level with the diminutive scientist. We don't control it, Dr. Pip. We collaborate with it. The universe, in all its mathematical glory, is our partner in exploration and discovery. A thoughtful silence fell over the chamber. Even General Krasuke's weapon pods lowered slightly, confusion replacing anger in his biosynthetic circuits. Chuzar, his color shifting to a deep purple of contemplation, floated closer to the human. Dr. Fibonacci, your words and demonstration challenge everything we believe about the nature of reality. But I must ask, why have you come to us? The human's expression grew serious. Because, Arc Numerator, we've discovered something that threatens not just our mathematical anomaly, but the entire universe. Something that requires the combined knowledge of humanity and the Galactic Consortium to solve. She paused, looking around the chamber at the assembled beings from countless worlds. We need your help, and in return, we offer a new way of seeing the universe, a way that could unlock secrets beyond your wildest calculations. The Grand Calculation Chamber, for the first time in its long history, was utterly silent. The greatest mathematical minds in the galaxy faced a choice: reject this chaotic new perspective or embrace a revolution in their understanding of the cosmos. As the quantum probability manipulator continued to spin, its ethereal light casting ever-shifting shadows across the faces of the assembly, Dr. Lyra Fibonacci stood ready to bridge two worlds, the realm of rigid cosmic laws and the wild, untamed frontier of human mathematical innovation. The fate of the universe hung in the balance, waiting for the next calculation to be made. The Grand Calculation Chamber hummed with an energy unlike anything it had experienced in its millennia of existence. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci stood at the center, her quantum probability manipulator now dormant, but still drawing wary glances from the assembled aliens. Chuzar's tentacles had tied themselves into complex knots, a sign of deep contemplation among his species. Dr. Fibonacci, he began, his voice resonators vibrating with uncertainty. You speak of a threat to the entire universe. We are listening. The human nodded, her expression grave. Thank you, Arc Numerator. What I'm about to present is what we call a millennium problem. But unlike the mathematical challenges of old Earth, this one has cosmic implications. With a gesture, Dr. Fibonacci activated a holographic display. The chamber filled with swirling equations and multidimensional graphs that seemed to defy the very laws of geometry. Behold, she announced, the convergence conundrum. The assembled mathematicians leaned in, their various sensory organs straining to comprehend the data before them. Xion 727's crystalline structure began to resonate at an alarming frequency as it processed the information. Observation. These equations, they devour themselves. Logical paradox detected, the silicon base being chimed, its usual stoic demeanor cracking. Dr. Pip scurried up a nearby data terminal, his tiny paws flying over the controls. It's beautiful, but also terrifying. The implications are apocalyptic. General Krasuke interrupted, his exoskeleton bristling with agitation. These formulae suggest a cascading failure of reality itself. Explain yourself, human. Dr. Fibonacci nodded solemnly. You're not wrong, General. What you're seeing is evidence of a growing instability in the fundamental fabric of space-time. We call it the unraveling. She manipulated the hologram, zooming out to show a map of the galaxy. Pulsing red spots appeared, scattered but slowly growing. These are areas where the unraveling has begun, regions where the laws of physics are breaking down. If left unchecked, they'll expand, consuming everything in their path. The chamber erupted into pandemonium. Beings of all shapes and sizes chittered, buzzed, and shouted in a cacophony of panic and disbelief. Impossible! We're doomed! It must be a trick! Chuzar's tentacles lashed out, somehow producing a sound like a thunderclap. Silence. Let the human finish. As the noise subsided, Dr. Fibonacci continued, her voice steady but tinged with urgency. We discovered this phenomenon when we began exploring beyond our anomaly, as you call it. At first, we thought it was unique to the border between our region and yours. But then we found more and more. She gestured to the hologram again, and the red spots multiplied, spreading like a virus across the galactic map. Our projections show that within 1,000 years, a mere blink in cosmic time, these unraveling zones will engulf entire sectors. Within 10,000, the galaxy itself will begin to lose cohesion. And after that, She didn't need to finish the sentence. The implications were clear to every being in the chamber. Dr. Pip's whiskers drooped. But why is this happening? What's causing the unraveling? Dr. Fibonacci's expression was grim. That's the heart of the convergence conundrum. We don't know. Our best theories suggest it's a byproduct of the expansion of the universe, a cosmic error compounding upon itself. But to be honest, we're out of our depth. She looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes, optical sensors, and sensory appendages of the assembled beings. That's why we're here. Humanity's unconventional approach to mathematics has allowed us to detect and measure the unraveling. But we lack the deeper understanding of cosmic constants that your civilizations have cultivated over millennia. Chuzar floated closer, his tentacles uncurling slightly. You propose a collaboration, then? To solve this convergence conundrum? Precisely, Dr. Fibonacci nodded. We need to combine our mathematical models, your rigid constants, and our fluid probabilities. It's the only way we might find a solution before it's too late. General Krasuke's weapon pods retracted fully for the first time since the humans' arrival. And if we fail to find a solution, what then? Dr. Fibonacci's eyes flashed with determination. Then we prepare. We find ways to stabilize pockets of space-time, to preserve what we can. But I refuse to accept that as our only option. Together, we must find a way to stop the unraveling. A heavy silence fell over the chamber as the magnitude of the challenge sank in. Exine 727 broke the quiet, its crystalline form glowing with a new intensity. Proposal: immediate formation of Joint Task Force. Designation: Operation Cosmic Stability. Objective: solve convergence conundrum. Save universe. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. Even General Krasuke nodded his heavily armored head. Chuzar's tentacles began to weave a complex pattern, a mathematical equation given physical form. I concur. Dr. Fibonacci, humanity's unorthodox methods have revealed a threat we could not have foreseen. Now, they may be our only hope in confronting it. He turned to address the entire chamber. Esteemed colleagues, we stand at a crossroads of cosmic importance. The mathematics we have relied upon for eons must now evolve. Are we prepared to take this leap into uncertainty, to rewrite the very laws we have long held sacred? The response was immediate and overwhelming. Beings of all forms raised appendages, flashed bioluminescent patterns, and emitted electromagnetic pulses of agreement. The message was clear. The Galactic Mathematical Congress was ready to embrace a new paradigm. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci smiled, a mix of relief and determination on her face. Thank you all. Now let's get to work. We have a universe to save. As the greatest minds from across the galaxy began to gather around the central hologram, a new energy filled the grand calculation chamber. For the first time in cosmic history, the rigid mathematics of the Galactic Consortium was about to collide with the chaotic brilliance of human innovation. The convergence conundrum loomed before them, a challenge that would push the boundaries of knowledge and reshape their understanding of reality itself. The fate of existence itself hung in the balance, awaiting the outcome of this unprecedented collaboration. Days blurred into weeks as the joint task force of human and alien mathematicians worked tirelessly to solve the convergence conundrum. The grand calculation chamber had been transformed into a bustling hub of interdimensional equations and probability matrices. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci stood before a hovering array of quantum processors, her brow furrowed in concentration. Beside her, Chuzar's tentacles danced through the air, manipulating complex fractal patterns. "It's not working," Dr. Fibonacci exclaimed, frustration evident in her voice. "Every time we think we've stabilized the equation, it unravels at a higher dimension." Chuzar's central eye pulsed with empathy. "Patience, Dr. Fibonacci. We are making progress, even if it's not immediately apparent. Remember, we're attempting to reconcile two fundamentally different approaches to mathematics." From across the chamber, General Krasuke's booming voice interrupted their discussion. "Time is a luxury we do not have. The latest reports show the unraveling has accelerated in Sector 9 Gamma. The news sent a ripple of unease through the assembled team. Dr. Pip scurried up to a nearby holographic display, his tiny paws frantically inputting data. Oh dear, the rodentoid squeaked. At this rate, we have less than a century before the first major galactic hub is affected. Xion 727's crystalline form vibrated with agitation. Query: alternative approaches? Current methodologies insufficient. Dr. Fibonacci ran her hands through her hair, a human gesture of frustration that still puzzled many of her alien colleagues. She was about to respond when a commotion at the far end of the chamber caught everyone's attention. A junior human mathematician, Dr. Evan Riemann, was wildly gesticulating at his workstation. Dr. Fibonacci, everyone, I think I've found something. The entire task force converged on Dr. Riemann's station. His holographic display showed a series of equations that seemed to twist in on themselves, forming impossible shapes. I was thinking about what Dr. Fibonacci said about mathematics being a dance, Dr. Riemann explained, his words tumbling out in excitement. So I tried to choreograph the equations to find a rhythm in the chaos. And then I saw it, the pattern. Chuzar's tentacles writhed in confusion. Pattern? What pattern? These equations defy all known laws of mathematical harmony. Dr. Riemann grinned. Exactly. They defy the laws as we know them. But what if the laws themselves are changing? What if the unraveling isn't a breakdown of reality, but a transformation? A hush fell over the chamber as the implications of his words sank in. Dr. Fibonacci leaned in, her eyes wide with realization. Evan, are you suggesting that the universe is evolving? Not just evolving, Dr. Riemann replied, his fingers flying over the controls. It's learning. Look here. These oscillations aren't random. They're adapting, finding new equilibriums. The unraveling isn't destroying reality. It's rewriting it. General Krasuke's exoskeleton whirred as he processed this information. But if reality itself is changing, how can we hope to stabilize it? We'd be fighting against the very nature of the universe. Dr. Fibonacci's face lit up with sudden inspiration. We don't fight it, we guide it. Evan, you're a genius. She turned to address the entire chamber. Don't you see? We've been approaching this all wrong. We're not trying to stop the unraveling. We're midwives to a cosmic rebirth. Xion 727's crystalline structure began to pulse with a soft blue light. Clarification required. Proposal to assist universal evolution? Unprecedented. Dangerous. Exhilarating. Precisely. Dr. Fibonacci exclaimed. She manipulated the holographic display, integrating Dr. Riemann's equations with the larger model of the unraveling. If we can understand the new patterns emerging, we can create a framework to guide the transition. We won't be imposing our will on the universe. We'll be helping it find its new form. Chuzar's tentacles wove intricate patterns as he contemplated the idea. It's beautiful and terrifying. We would be fundamentally altering the very fabric of existence. Dr. Pip's whiskers twitched nervously. But what about us? What happens to life as we know it if we allow this transformation? Dr. Fibonacci's expression softened. That's the most exciting part, Dr. Pip. We evolve with it. This isn't an end. It's a new beginning for all conscious beings. We have the opportunity to shape the future of existence itself. The chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. The magnitude of what they were proposing was almost too much to comprehend. General Krasuke, who had been uncharacteristically quiet, finally spoke. This plan, it goes against everything the War Mind Imperium stands for. Stability, order, control. And yet, his exoskeleton shifted, revealing a rarely seen inner layer. I find myself intrigued by the possibilities. Dr. Fibonacci nodded, understanding the weight of the general's words. This will require a leap of faith from all of us. We're venturing into uncharted territory, redefining the very nature of mathematics and reality. Chuzar floated to the center of the chamber, his tentacles spread wide in a gesture of unity. Colleagues, We stand at a crossroads unlike any our species have ever faced. The decision before us will shape the destiny of not just our civilizations, but of the cosmos itself. He paused, his central eye sweeping across the assembled beings. The question is not whether we can do this, but whether we should. Are we prepared to take this monumental step? The chamber fell silent as each being grappled with the enormity of the choice before them. The fate of existence itself hung in the balance, awaiting their decision. Finally, Dr. Fibonacci stepped forward, her voice clear and resolute. I say we embrace this cosmic dance. Let's not just solve the convergence conundrum. Let's transcend it. Who's with me? One by one, appendages were raised, bioluminescent patterns flashed agreement, and electromagnetic pulses signaled assent. The decision was made. As the task force turned back to their work with renewed vigor, the grand calculation chamber hummed with an energy that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of space-time. The greatest mathematical minds in the galaxy were no longer just solving a problem. They were midwifing the birth of a new universe. And at the heart of it all stood Dr. Lyra Fibonacci, a human whose unconventional thinking had not just saved reality, but opened the door to its next great evolution. The day human mathematics broke alien logic had become the day all beings united to rewrite the cosmic equation. The grand calculation chamber, once a bastion of mathematical certainty, now pulsed with an energy that defied conventional physics. It had been 3 standard galactic cycles since the fateful decision to guide the universe's evolution rather than resist it, and the consequences were beginning to ripple across reality itself. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci stood before the central holographic display, her eyes reflecting the swirling patterns of a cosmos in flux. Beside her, Chuzar's tentacles wove complex equations into the air, each movement altering the fabric of space-time in subtle but profound ways. It's working, Dr. Fibonacci exclaimed, her voice a mixture of awe and disbelief. The unraveling zones are stabilizing, but not in the way we initially expected. They're becoming nexus points for the new laws of physics. Exine 727 glided forward, its crystalline structure refracting light in impossible ways. Observation: reality flux at 63% of predicted levels. Variance within acceptable parameters. Conclusion: we are succeeding. General Krasuke, his exoskeleton now adorned with swirling patterns that mimic the changing cosmos, nodded gravely. But at what cost? Reports from across the galaxy speak of strange phenomena. Planets phase-shifting, stars singing in gravitational harmonies, black holes that birth new universes. Dr. Pip scurried up to the general, his tiny form now occasionally flickering in and out of multiple dimensions. But that's the beauty of it, don't you see? We're not just preserving the old reality. We're midwifing a new one. The possibilities are endless. Chuzar Central eye pulsed with a mix of emotions. Indeed, Dr. Pip, but with such power comes great responsibility. We must ensure that this cosmic evolution doesn't outpace our ability to adapt. Dr. Fibonacci nodded, her expression serious. You're right, Arc-Numerator. That's why we've implemented the Cosmic Harmony Protocols. They act as a musical score for the universe, guiding its symphony without dictating every note. She manipulated the holographic display, zooming out to show a vast network of shimmering lines connecting stars, galaxies, and even the dark spaces between them. This is the framework, a lattice of mathematical constants that flex and adapt with the changing laws of physics. It's our safeguard against cosmic chaos. General Krasuke's weapon pods, long since reconfigured for scientific analysis, hummed as they scanned the display. Impressive. But what of the civilizations caught in this cosmic upheaval? Surely not all can adapt as quickly as we have. Dr. Fibonacci's face fell slightly. You're right, General. We've received reports of difficulties in some sectors. Planets where time now flows backwards. Species suddenly phasing out of sync with their environments. It's challenging. Exine 727's crystalline form dimmed slightly. Query: ethical implications? Are we playing the role of cosmic gods? A heavy silence fell over the chamber. It was a question they had all grappled with since embarking on this audacious plan. Dr. Pip broke the silence, his voice squeaky but firm. We're not gods. We're guardians, shepherds of a cosmic transformation that was already underway. Without our guidance, the unraveling would have been catastrophic. Chuzar's tentacles formed a complex knot, a sign of deep contemplation. Dr. Pip speaks wisdom. We did not initiate this change, but we have chosen to steward it. Our task now is to ensure that all sentient life has the opportunity to evolve alongside the cosmos. Dr. Fibonacci nodded, a determined glint in her eye. Exactly. That's why we've launched the Cosmic Adaptation Initiative. Teams are being dispatched across the galaxy to assist civilizations in navigating these changes. Education, technology sharing, even biological adaptation were necessary. She pulled up another display, showing ships of various designs spreading out across the galactic map. It's the largest cooperative effort in the history of the cosmos. Every major civilization is participating, pooling resources and knowledge. General Krasuk's exoskeleton whirred as he processed this information. A noble effort, but surely there are those who resist, who view these changes as a threat rather than an opportunity. Dr. Fibonacci sighed. Unfortunately, yes. We've encountered pockets of resistance. Some see us as cosmic tyrants, others as heralds of apocalypse. We're doing our best to educate, to demonstrate the beauty and potential of this new reality, but it's an ongoing challenge. Xion 727's form pulsed with a soft, reassuring light. Observation. Change is often met with fear. Proposal. Continue outreach efforts. Showcase benefits of cosmic evolution. Agreed, Chuzar chimed in. We must be patient, yet persistent. This transformation is not just about mathematics or physics. It's about the very nature of existence. It will take time for all beings to adjust. Dr. Fibonacci smiled, grateful for the support of her colleagues. You're right. And despite the challenges, we're seeing incredible breakthroughs. New forms of faster-than-light travel, civilizations tapping into the fundamental forces of the universe in ways we never imagined possible. She gestured to a series of smaller displays, each showing marvels that would have been deemed impossible just a few cycles ago. Planets linked by bridges of pure energy, beings of pure thought exploring the spaces between dimensions, entire solar systems working in harmonic resonance to achieve cosmic-scale computations. This is what we're fighting for, Dr. Fibonacci said, her voice filled with passion. A universe of infinite possibility, where the boundaries between mathematics, physics, and consciousness itself blur into a cosmic dance of creation. General Krasuk, despite his military background, found himself nodding in agreement. It is beautiful and terrifying, but I believe it is a future worth striving for. Dr. Pip's whiskers twitched with excitement. Just think of the discoveries still to come. We've only scratched the surface of what's possible in this new reality. Chuzar's tentacles formed a pattern that somehow conveyed both uncertainty and hope. Indeed, my friends, we stand at the dawn of a new cosmic age. Our mathematics has not just broken alien logic, it has reshaped the very foundation of existence. As the team turned back to their work, monitoring the ongoing transformation and guiding it with their ever-evolving equations, a sense of profound awe settled over the grand calculation chamber. They had embarked on the greatest adventure in the history of conscious life, rewriting the cosmic code itself. The day human mathematics broke alien logic had become the day all sentient beings began writing a new chapter in the story of the universe. And as Dr. Lyra Fibonacci gazed out at the shimmering, ever-changing cosmos, she knew that the greatest discoveries still lay ahead, waiting to be unlocked in the infinite dance of numbers and reality. The grand calculation chamber, once a sterile environment of pure logic, now pulsed with an energy that defied description. Equations floated in the air, occasionally coalescing into temporary realities before dissipating. It had been a full galactic year since the implementation of the cosmic harmony protocols, and the universe was settling into its new rhythm. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci stood at the center of it all, her form occasionally flickering as she phased through multiple probability states. Around her, representatives from civilizations across the transformed galaxy had gathered for an unprecedented summit. "Welcome, friends, colleagues, and fellow cosmic dancers," Dr. Fibonacci began, her voice resonating on multiple frequencies. "We stand here today not just as witnesses to a new universe, but as active participants in its ongoing evolution." Chuzar floated nearby, his tentacles now existing in a superposition of states, each one representing a different mathematical possibility. "Indeed, Dr. Fibonacci, the Galactic Mathematical Congress has evolved beyond our wildest calculations. We are no longer mere observers of cosmic laws, but co-authors of reality itself." General Krasuke, his exoskeleton now a living computer that processed quantum information, stepped forward. The Warmind Imperium once sought to impose order through force. Now, we see that true stability comes from embracing change, not resisting it. A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembled beings, each one a testament to the incredible adaptations life had undergone in the wake of the cosmic transformation. Dr. Pip, now able to exist simultaneously across multiple dimensions, squeaked excitedly. "The discoveries we've made are beyond imagination. Entire civilizations living in the quantum foam, harnessing the power of probability itself." Exon 727, its crystalline form now a conduit for pure mathematical energy, chimed in. "Observation. Cooperative efforts have yielded 732% increase in cosmic understanding." Query. "Next phase of exploration?" Dr. Fibonacci smiled, a gesture that sent ripples of possibility cascading through nearby probability fields. "That, my friends, is why we've gathered here today. We stand on the brink of the next great leap in our cosmic journey." She waved her hand, and the chamber transformed into a vast model of the known universe and beyond. "Behold, the multiversal manifold!" Gasps of awe echoed through the chamber as the assembled beings saw, for the first time, the true scope of existence. Universes upon universes, each with its own unique laws of physics, all interconnected in a grand cosmic tapestry. Our understanding of mathematics and physics has evolved to the point where we can now perceive and interact with parallel realities, Dr. Fibonacci explained. "But this gift comes with great responsibility." Chuzar's tentacles formed complex patterns as he processed this information. The implications are staggering. Each of these universes, a new frontier of knowledge, of life, of possibility. General Krasuke censors word as they analyze the display, but also potential conflict. How do we ensure peaceful cooperation across such vast differences in reality? Dr. Fibonacci nodded solemnly. "A valid concern, General. That's why I proposed the formation of the Cosmic Concord, a multiversal alliance dedicated to exploration, understanding, and mutual growth." She gestured, and a new set of equations shimmered into existence. These are the foundational principles of the Concord, a mathematical framework that allows for communication and cooperation across disparate realities, while respecting the unique nature of each universe. Dr. Pip bounced excitedly across several dimensions. "Oh, the possibilities! Think of the exchange of ideas, of art, of science. We could learn from civilizations that evolved under completely different laws of physics." Exon 727's form pulsed with intellectual excitement. "Analysis. Potential for exponential growth in knowledge." Recommendation. Immediate implementation of Cosmic Concord protocols. The chamber buzzed with energy as the assembled beings discussed, debated, and marveled at the prospect before them. It was a moment of unity unlike any the cosmos had ever seen. Representatives from across reality itself, coming together in common purpose. Dr. Fibonacci raised her hand, calling for attention. "My friends, we stand at a crossroads of infinite possibility. Our journey began with a simple question: how to solve the convergence conundrum. It has led us to the very edges of existence itself. She paused, looking around at the incredible diversity of life and consciousness gathered in the chamber. We have transcended the boundaries of our original forms, of our limited understanding of mathematics and physics. We have become something more, not by conquering or controlling the cosmos, but by learning to dance with it. Choose our central, I pulsed with emotion. Dr. Fibonacci speaks truth. We are no longer merely children of our respective worlds. We are children of the cosmos, in all its infinite variety. General Krasuke, once a being of rigid military discipline, now nodded in agreement. And as cosmic citizens, we have a duty to explore, to understand, and to protect the grand tapestry of existence. Dr. Pip chittered excitedly. Just think, every problem we solve, every discovery we make, ripples across the entire multiversal manifold. We're not just changing our reality, we're uplifting all realities. Xion 727's crystalline form shimmered with newfound purpose. Proposal: initiate Grand Exploration Initiative. Objective: map multiversal manifold. Foster interuniversal cooperación. Expand boundaries of knowledge. Dr. Fibonacci beamed, her form briefly splitting into a cascade of quantum possibilities before coalescing again. Then let it be so. Today, we establish the Cosmic Concord, a beacon of cooperation and discovery across the grand canvas of existence. As the assembled beings signaled their agreement, the very fabric of reality seemed to hum with anticipation. The Grand Calculation Chamber, once a simple meeting place for mathematicians, had become the birthplace of a new cosmic order. Dr. Lyra Fibonacci looked out at the shimmering model of the multiversal manifold, her heart filled with wonder and purpose. The day human mathematics broke alien logic had set in motion a chain of events that led to this moment, the dawn of a new age of cosmic exploration and cooperation. As the newly formed Cosmic Concord prepared to embark on its grand journey of discovery, Dr. Fibonacci couldn't help but smile. The universe, no, the multiverse, was vast and full of mysteries. But together, united by the universal languages of mathematics and wonder, there was no challenge they couldn't overcome, no frontier they couldn't explore. The cosmic dance had only just begun, and its melody would resonate across eternity.